Hello, scrapbooking buddies. We're here to give you some tips and tricks on editing on the iPhone and Android and tell you how to print your pictures, how to upload them. So we're going to start off with Amy, and she's going to give us tips and tricks with the iPhone.
Okay, first thing you want to do is go into your photos and find a photo that you'd like to edit. I'm going to be doing this one of my kids first. The first thing I'm going to show you is kind of simple. It's rotating and cropping. A lot of people already know how to do this, but for those that don't, you hit the edit button right up here, and then you go down to this little button right here. When you tap on that, you'll see this button up here that's got a square with an arrow, and that's going to be the rotate button. So I'm going to rotate them. Just keep tapping it until you get it how you want so that they are right side up. Then the other thing I'm going to do is crop this to be a little bit closer. I want to do a close-up of them holding hands, which is very rare. So you're going to go to this button right up here. This is going to be the button that will show you how to get the ratios that you want. I'm going to do a 4:6, but you can do other ratios. Down here, there's a freeform button that's selected, and that's what's going to auto select. That's just where you can crop it whatever size you want. But if you scroll down here all the way to the end, there's a 3:2 ratio, and that's going to put it in the format for a 4:6 photo so that when it prints, it doesn't cut the sides off or anything. So if you tap on that, it'll kind of lower these two longer edges. But I'm going to do it vertically. So right here, there's two buttons, horizontal and vertical. I'm going to tap on the vertical button just to get a little bit closer of them holding hands. And then hit done. So now that I've cropped and rotated my photo, I'm just going to edit the lighting a bit because the shadows on their faces are a little bit harsh. So I'm going to lighten that up a bit. So if you go back in here and hit edit again, it'll have auto selected right here, but the next button over will be exposure. I'm just gonna bump that up a tiny bit. That kind of makes it lighter. You can see if I go way up how light it gets. I just bump that up a tiny bit usually. Then for the lighting on their faces, if you scroll over here to shadows, this shadows button will lighten up any shadows in the photo. So I'll zoom in so you can see how it will lighten up their faces. See how much it lightens up those harsh shadows? Then the next button over from shadows is the contrast button. And whenever I bump up the light on the shadows, I usually go down a little bit with the contrast, and that also helps to lighten everything up. So then whenever you're done messing with that and lighting it however you want it, you hit the done button down here. And then you can see on the iPhone, when you're in edit, if you tap on the photo, it'll show you the original. So you can see here, when I tap on it, that shows how harsh the light was on their face, and then it'll show the light now. So that was the first picture I'm gonna do. The next picture that a lot of people, I think, have issues with is something that's too dark. The backgrounds are just low light, it's nighttime, something like that. So this was a photo I took at the zoo of the pangolin, and he's really, really dark. They're nocturnal, so there was hardly any light in the exhibit. So a good thing when you have a dark photo is to use the auto feature. And when you go to your edit, that auto feature is going to be right here. That's just going to kind of bump up a bunch of the different lights. It bumps up the exposure, the brilliance, contrast, brightness, and it kind of knows how to lighten it up. But if you don't like it, you can still go back in the other way I showed you with going manually and doing the exposure and things. But that auto button is there. It's just a quick way to lighten photos up or change the lighting to be better. If you don't like it, just tap on the auto button again. If you tap on it and you go, oh, I don't like that, just tap it again and it'll go away. So that's one feature I like to use sometimes. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the portrait mode. I take a lot of my pictures on portrait mode. You can see this photo, it blurred the background. So it keeps people in focus and it blurs the background. But sometimes when I do portrait mode, it doesn't quite pick up a person in it. You can see my husband back here on the carousel is blurry and my daughter's in focus. So I actually recently learned how to, after you've already taken a picture on portrait mode, to reverse it. So for that, you're going to go to the edit button and see the portrait up here showing that it was taken in portrait mode. If you just tap that again and it unselects it, you see how his face was blurry? And then when you tap that, it unblurs the background. So if you need to take portrait mode off of a picture, that's a simple way to do that. Let's see. The next thing is live photos. So I'll show you how to do the portrait mode in the live photos, but a lot of people take live photos or their phone's just set to it. And that is where if you hold on your photo, you can see it almost takes like a 2-second long video. And in this photo, my daughter's eyes are closed. My son's not looking. But if you hold down on the picture, you can see that it did capture just a split second. It's hard to get him smiling, but it did capture just a little bit of him looking at the camera and smiling. So what you can do to find the exact moment you want is hit edit and then go to this circle button down here. And that's going to show you your live picture. This little square, you can drag it and it'll show you each individual frame. And you can select the exact moment where he's actually looking and she's actually looking. That's a good spot. And then when you let go, it'll say make key photo. So if you tap on that and hit done, then you can zoom in. He's looking now. She's got her eyes open. So that's a good way to edit live photos to the exact moment, especially if it's something that's fast. You're trying to get a picture of an animal or something and they're running or kids are running. You can snap that live photo and then go back in and get the exact moment you want. And I'll show you on the camera just really quick. Portrait mode is down here. It's automatically on photo, but if you slide it over one, then you're on portrait mode. And that's the one that's going to blur the background out. Live photo is when you're on photo, this little circle button up here. And if you tap on that, now my live is off. It's got an X through it. If you tap on it again, live is on. So that, if you want it on, that's the one that's going to record like the little video. So portrait and live are the other two things I was going to show. So that I think is it for editing on the iPhone. Now
I'll take it over here and I'm a very simple editor, so I'm sure there's other tips and tricks, but I'm just going to show you a few today. So here's a picture that was taken, and you can see it looks like the carpet's a little crooked, and like the balloons, whoever took the picture, not that great. So I'm going to show you a quick tip. See there's a little auto button right here. So if I hit auto, see how it straightened the picture instantly? Okay, love that, okay? And then maybe, part of the doorway was showing, so we can bring that in there. At any point, you can go to revert, okay? And you can go back to the old image that it was, or once you get it the way you want it, you can push save, okay? So let's just say if we wanted to edit, say this picture was taken the wrong direction. So on an Android, all you need to do is there's a little circle with an arrow on it. As you move that around, it changes the direction of your picture. So you can make it the way you want. So let's go ahead and save it because that's right. Let's show you a different picture. Let's go back and edit. This was my daughter adopted 2 kids. So this was the fun outside they had with balloons and the things in the yard. So like it's got 2 people's houses in it. I really just like their house in it. So let's go ahead and crop that. And all I did was hit that little crop button and then I'm bringing it in. So it's got more of their house in it, okay? One of the buttons I love that a friend of mine showed me is these 3 little circles down at the bottom. Oops. It's the 3 little circles. You hit that and it's gonna give you all different colors. And you can take a look at this picture. I normally almost always go with the auto. Look at how it brightened the colors. They're kind of muted there. I almost always auto adjust my pictures before I print them. But as we scroll through here, this is a warm, this is a cool, and there's all kinds of frosty, blossom, ivory. Yeah, you can go to black and whites, you can go to sepia, all different ones. So, but I really do like the auto. So we're gonna go to auto. Once you get it the way you want it, you push save. Okay, so let's see. What else? Let's just go ahead, and I don't know if we've showed any other tips. So we can revert it and we can go back to the original. I can save it. And let's see. I want to go ahead and we want to print these now. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to pull up creativememories.com. So you can just go to that. I already have it pulled up here. So go to creativememories.com and you'll need to sign in. If you don't have an account, you can just quick make one. We've already signed into the account here. And you're going to be able to quickly upload these pictures, okay? So what you're going to do once you're signed in is go to the three little lines and then go to print, okay? So it's going to say, do you have the permission to print these pictures? So you're going to have to check that, okay? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pictures and the prices. So you get a 4x6 matte, which I absolutely love matte, okay? If you're printing 1 to 49 pictures in a batch, they're 27 cents a print. What I love about them is they're printed on Fuji paper. The date of the picture will be on the back. So as we upload them and say I want to do October pictures and I name it October, when I receive my pictures, it will have that on there. They will actually go in the order that you upload them to, okay? And then they're printed and shipped to your home, which is fabulous. No getting in the car and going someplace to go pick them up. So all you do is press that I own permission and then customize. Okay, so now this is where you get to name your product. So I'm going to put in, let's do Brookfield Zoo. Okay, because we just went to the zoo. So I'm going to name it and push continue. Okay, so keeping in mind, if you want to get the cheapest print, you're going to want to upload 50 pictures at a time, okay? So I can upload just my zoo pictures. I could do all of October. I could do whatever I wanted. So let me get this a little closer so you can see we're ready to add pictures, okay? And then I'm going to go to upload photos. So I can either browse individually and just click, click, click ones that I want. Or if I have them in a folder, which hopefully you got your pictures in a folder, you could pick the My Files, is what it says on Android. I think it says something indifferent. She's going to walk you through that in a minute on the iPhone. But you could pick whatever folder you wanted. So say I want to pick Pumpkin Farm, okay? So all the pictures are in there. I put select all and done. And it starts uploading my pictures. That's how simple it is. So I only put 8 photos in here just because I wanted them to upload quickly for you so you could see how it works. But it just goes super quick. Make sure you got a good internet connection when you're doing it. And as you can see, as each one comes down, it just pops down here and it's uploaded. So we have one more picture to upload. Okay, and then we're done with that. So if we had more pictures to upload, right now I'd push upload pictures, go grab another folder, grab individual pictures, put them in there, and they'd be good to go. If I'm done, I push done, and it's going to bring those photos in to Creative Memories. Okay, so once the photos are all in there, they're going to populate. You're going to see them pop in. This is where you would change if you needed 2 of a photo, or if you uploaded one you didn't want, there's a little garbage can, you can get rid of it. So as soon as they all come in, you would just quickly change the 1 or the 2 to whatever you wanted. And then they're all in there and you just push add to cart. Okay, so once they go into your cart, you're just agreeing that you're adding them into your cart, and then you're ready to check out or to add more photos, whatever you need to do. Now I'm going to turn it over to Amy so she can show you how to upload from the iPhone.
Okay, most of the instructions for the iPhone are similar. The only thing that's going to be a little bit different is going to be when you actually get to the upload button. So you're still going to go to the corner. You're still going to go to prints. You're still going to scroll down, check the box, and then hit customize. And enter a name. I'll do the pictures I was doing was October 2022. So I'll name my folder, continue. And then there's just the button right in the middle that says add photos. A button right up here, the blue one that says upload photos. And then I can choose from my photo library. I can take photos or choose files. So I'll go to my photo library and that will just pull up my library. But if I want to pull from an album, the button right up here next to photos says albums. That's how I can go in and find like the ones I just edited. I can select, and then hit add. So those are going to come in pretty quick here. And all right, so now they've got the check marks on them. You just hit the upload photos. If you want to do any more, you can go back into your albums. You can go back into your photo library. You can select any ones you want, but once you're done, you hit the done button up at the top. That's going to bring you to this screen, which is, like she said, you can delete some you didn't mean to upload. You can get quantities 2, 3, 4 of any picture you want. But once you're done doing that, then you can just go to your cart up here, agree and add to cart, and then check out. And that's how you do it on the iPhone.
Thanks for joining us today, and happy scrapbooking.